Morning. It's morning coffee. I was sitting here in my office listening to the birds sing and enjoying the music of those beautiful creatures and thinking about um, what are we doing with ourselves, manifesting beautiful spring, beautiful beginnings as we come out of this full moon in Virgo, which is a time of leaving behind those things that are not working for us, those structures and constructs that are no longer working for us, and stepping into a space where we are now going to bring forth the beauty and newness of something new, something wonderful, something that does work for us. What does that look like? What does it look like to manifest your new dreams? And so I think about just as we were in the new moon of Pisces on the 19th of February, and how I had a beautiful manifesting meditation and the things that I manifested, newness, particularly in my personal life, and instantly those things came into my world. A wonderful friend of mine immediately reappeared into my world, and we had an absolutely magically wonderful, absolutely wonderful week together. And then there was some miscommunications, and my feelings got hurt, and I don't know where that's going to go, but you can sit in those spaces when powerful energies are moving, and you can make mistakes and hurt other people and beat yourself up, or you can step into a space and just be reminded that we are all human, and you can continue to create beautiful things with people, particularly if they're loving human beings. They're not gonna be nasty to you and me, heck, I manifested all those things into my life. I enjoy the presence of certain human beings in my world, and if I didn't want them there, I wouldn't have asked the universe to bring them to me. And so having certain people in my world is definitely something that I want. Having certain experiences is definitely something that I want. And when they go sideways, it's just a matter of communicating with humans, and gosh, isn't that something that we're just so terrible at, communicating with one another. We fear the criticism. We fear looking in the mirror and seeing who we really are. We fear so much. Fear so much. Fear is a big, big detriment in the lives of people, and I often talk about being love to one another, being love to other human beings, and that we, as a society, are kind of camped in on the opposite of love being hatred, and certainly hatred is part of the opposite of love. But the real thing that I've come to realize is, and set in the belief system around, is the opposite of love is not so much hatred as it is fear. From fear comes hatred, anger, depression, despair, confusion, all of these things that would align under this negative energy. And so it's fear or love. Are you in a space of fear, or are you in a space of love? From love comes all these positive things, compassion, understanding, grace, mercy, empathy, these things. And what happened for me a couple of years, 3 years ago, even longer, but I didn't really understand the concepts the way I vocalize them today, is I made a decision that while I will be imperfect in it, I will strive to be love every day. I will strive to step into that space of being a loving person. And when people around me are being unloving or being in a state of fear, they're being unkind, they're being inconsiderate, they're being manipulative, or whatever they're being, I will seek to find compassion. I will seek to find empathy. I will purposely, intentionally look for lovingness in myself towards others. And I have been told very recently that that is an incredibly intimidating characteristic. And at first I was taken aback, but I'm not really taken aback now, because I understand that love is the most powerful force on the face of this earth. And if you step into that space of loving others without expectation, it is a powerful force. People can suddenly be exposed in themselves and feel a tremendous amount of fear because they don't know how to deal with you. What are you doing? Who are you? What do you want from me? And the reality is, what do I want from the world and myself? I just want us to be loving. I just want us to care about each other. I just want us to just be love. Now, do you have to have boundaries for yourself? Do you have to use your brain and not be, let people drain all your energy away and be foolish and foolhardy? Yeah, you absolutely have to. So there's a balance in that. But even in that, you don't have to be cruel or unkind in setting those boundaries. And so there's a space. There's a wonderful space for it. And so for me, it's about manifesting my dreams. It's about manifesting everything that is good, wonderful, and fantastic in my life. And I sat here again, as I said, listening to those birds outside of that window and thinking to myself, my life is, from a human perspective, not perfect in any way. There are things that are missing from my life that I make me deeply sad. There are people in my world who have impacted me in the last couple of weeks in ways that have made me deeply sad and caused me to cry many tears. There are people in my life who have experienced things that have made me deeply sad. There are people in my life who are experiencing things that I am watching that are making me extremely happy. There are things in my life that are making me extremely happy. And so it's a huge dichotomy. And so if I get caught up in the material realm, it's going to feel chaotic. I have to reach above that and sit in a space of infinite love and compassion. And therein, because I'm going within, I'm not being impacted by this stuff out here at a soul level. I am in a space of love. I'm in a space of joy, and it makes me happy. It makes me joyful, regardless of what's going on out here. Because even with that sadness, I can say, what a freaking wonderful time I had for a minute with that individual. And it was absolutely off the chain. And then it wasn't. So what you understand is there are people who are meant to be here for a minute. There are people who are meant to be in your world for a lifetime. There are people who are meant to be for a season. There are people who you are meant to impact, and that's what it's about. We just need to be in our own space of manifesting our dreams. And what's my dream? To be love, to be holding space for others and be a loving human being. And so those are my morning coffee thoughts, and it's a little all over the place, but that's kind of how I want morning coffee to be, just raw, just thoughts and however they impact you is how they impact you. Feel free to share. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the morning.